Topic 4, the core of the chapter, Karma Yoga. The intellectual appeal for action, and then an emotional appeal for action. The assumption is Arjuna is well prepared to receive this knowledge. These 11 verses, 25 to 35, he gives the technique of right action, the essence of Karma Yoga. What constitutes an ideal action? The importance of the choice of action. What constitutes an ideal action? What is the nature of the choice of action? This is where he will be discussing about Swadharma also. That's where the choice of action. The three attitudes behind action: the selfish, the unselfish, and the selfless. You find all these being discussed in this few verses. He talks about what is an ideal action. He talks about the choice of the action, and then he talks about the attitude that drives the action, which is of the three types. The three attitudes that drives the action: the selfish, the unselfish, and the selfless. All these put together gives a comprehensive picture of what is an ideal action. What is known as, or what is understood as, the most brilliant and valuable exposition on human activity. Everywhere it is spoken about action, but here you find action being spoken about in a very sequential, systematic manner. This is the topic. How should be the action? How should one act? Verse number 25, we are reading currently. From outside it should look as though you are so attached to action, but inside you should not be attached. From outside, if anyone looks at you, they should, even a person who was attached will not be acting like this. But inside, you don't be attached. Oh, Bharata, as the ignorant attached to action, so the wise one acts unattached, wishing the welfare of the world. First principle in Karma Yoga is how you act. A person attached to action and a person who is detached from outside both has the same expression towards action. As ignorant attached to action, so should the wise one act. So should the wise one act means the wise one will be acting like this. Like what? How a person attached to action works. How does he act? There will be a pressure, there will be an excitement, there will be an anxiety. From outside it looks like it is exactly the same. Where comes the difference? Where comes the difference? One man is attached, this man is detached. The intensity of action doesn't drop in detachment. The quality of action doesn't drop in detachment. That's why we are so scared about detachment. We are so worried about detachment because we believe the intensity, the intensity drops, the quality drops. Anyway, what am I going to get? As though only if you get, you can do intense action. Anyway, I am not going to get anything. No, therefore, anytime I can walk out. What is the quality of the action doesn't drop. The intensity of the action doesn't drop. The commitment doesn't drop. Then what drops? Then what drops? He doesn't want you to do guesswork. So he says, wishing the welfare of the world. Action is exciting, action is interesting, action is always inspiring when there is a tangible result. When I say tangible result for me, not anyone getting that result. Action is exciting, action is interesting only when there is a tangible result, tangible benefit. For whom? For the karta, for the doer. Whoever is doing, whoever the karta is, the motivation to action, energy to action, enthusiasm to action comes only when there is a direct benefit to the doer. Here he says, the energy, the enthusiasm, the commitment, the motivation, all comes to an ignorant man because there is a direct result which you can get. The moment you say welfare of others, straight away there is a drop in the commitment, there is a drop in the quality. Why? You are not getting any benefit out of that. இது அவங்க நல்லதுக்கு தான் சார் பண்றேன். கேட்டா கேட்கட்டும், கேட்காட்டி it's okay. I am doing it only for the sake of that. I am not going to get anything out of it. And you see that person's quality of action, there will be a drop. There will be a drop in the commitment. There will be a drop in the sincerity. Therefore, he says the first principle about action is, just as an ignorant man acts, the wise one also should act. Wise one should act. Become wise, you will be acting like this. Like what? Like one who is attached to action. So, what do you understand as attachment to action? It is attachment to the doing and attachment to the fruits of the doing. Attachment is of two. One is attachment to the doing. Second is attachment to the fruit. In some cases, you may not be interested in the fruit, but you will be attached to the doing. In some cases, you may not be attached to the doing, but you will be attached to the fruit. So, the attachment to action is always of two. One is attachment to the doing, second is attachment to the fruit. In the case of a wise man, he says, there is no attachment to the doing, there is no attachment to the fruit. There is no attachment to the doing. When there is no attachment to the fruit, action itself comes to the action itself stops. What is attachment to the doing? What is attachment to the doing? Huh? Should be pakka. Correct or no? What is attachment to the doing? Attachment to the doing is the sense of indispensability. If I am not there, it will not happen. That is attachment to the doing. Attachment to the doing comes when you give a sense of indispensability to your own doing. What is the sense of indispensability? If I am not there, if I am not doing, the whole thing will come to a standstill. You tell the person, you are not that indispensable. I called Venkat at 7:20 and said, கொஞ்சம் லேட் ஆகிடும், மன்னிச்சுக்கோங்க, அப்படி என்டர்டெயின் பண்ணிடுங்க எல்லாரையும், ட்ரில்லைக்கம் என்டர்டெயின் பண்ணிடுங்க எல்லாரையும். சப்போஸிங் இஃப் ஹி டெல்ஸ் மீ, இல்லை சார் பரவாயில்ல, 2 பேர் ரெடியாக இருக்கிறாங்க, நீங்கள் வரலன்னா கூட கிளாஸ் ஆரம்பிச்சிருவோம் நாங்கள், டோன்ட் வரின்னா வை வில் ஈவன் கம். Badri has to run over 5-6 people literally and come. Why? Sense of indispensability. You follow? The sense of indispensability is attachment to the doing. So attachment to the doing is always of two, and both are distinct and different. One is the sense of indispensability, which is what is known as attachment to the doing. Distinct and different from that is attachment to the fruit. Attachment to the fruit of the doing, the result. The wise one acts like this, meaning first he is attached, he acts as though he is so attached to the doing, meaning he brings in an aspect of indispensability with the full understanding that he is dispensable. While doing, he brings in a sense of indispensability. That is, the sincerity you bring into the doing, the commitment and sincerity that you bring into the doing. So in that way, the wise one also will act like an ignorant man attached to action. Second is, actions will necessarily give a fruit. It's the law of action. It's the law of karma. Action will produce a fruit. In the case of an ignorant man, what is the motive that drives the action? His benefit. Here, what is the motivation that drives the action? Wishing the welfare of the world. Understand? He is not acting for the welfare of the world. There is a very subtle difference. He is not acting for the welfare of the world. He is wishing the welfare, not acting for the welfare. Acting for the welfare is an assumption that you can bring in welfare through your actions. You can bring in welfare. Wishing the welfare is your prayer. Wishing the welfare is your gratitude. With this prayerfulness, with this right attitude, you do whatever you are supposed to do. Wishing the welfare of the world, no, everyone has to do social work, no. When I am sitting in the house and doing the household work, where is wishing the welfare of the world coming, sir? And Krishna has said, wise one should act according to the wishing the welfare of the world. When you are sitting in a company doing business, where is wishing the welfare of the acting for the welfare of the world coming in? So you should understand, it is not acting for the welfare of the world. You wish the welfare. Chikirshuhu loka sangraham. Chikirshuhu means wishing. Wishing. I wish your welfare. Now what do you mean? Wishing implies prayer. I pray. I wish. Now what does it mean? I pray. One is wishing, another is blessing. Two things. One is wishing, another is blessing. I bless for the welfare of the world. You can't do it. Neither you can work for the welfare of the world. When you are wishing the welfare of the world, when you are in that prayerful, when you are acting with this prayerful notion, with this prayerful attitude, what are you saying? You are not here to compete with anyone. You are not here to fight with anyone. You are not interested in the result of the action. You are doing it because it ought to be done. Since action will have a benefit, let that benefit be the welfare of the world. Are you able to follow? Since action will anyway produce a fruit, benefit, result, you cannot avoid that. That is the law of karma. Action will produce a result. When you are acting for self-realization, it's a totally different thing altogether. There it doesn't produce any result. But where is the person acting for? Where is the human being acting for? Self-realization. Therefore, all actions, so when we say all actions, there is an addition to it. What is it? All actions minus self-realization. If you are working for self-realization, then it's a totally different case altogether. There, you do only one action, which he has already explained and which he is going to explain later, what is known as the yajna karma, which removes the root of action, which removes the source of action, which removes the cause for action, vasanas. It goes. Here we are discussing all actions except actions for self-realization. In that sense, the law of karma is very clear. Action will produce a result. Dangerous it is, because as a karta you will be bound by the fruit of the action. You being the doer, you will be bound by the fruit of the action. That's what they call as karma bandha. The action due to the bondage because of action. The bondage because of action, because you as a doer will be bound by the fruit of the action, and you have to necessarily experience. Ramatirtha says, you cry because your desires are not being fulfilled. You cry because you have entertained the desires. For you have to painfully go through the process of fulfillment, he says. Again I repeat. He says, people cry in the world because desires are not being fulfilled. He says, you should not cry for that. Cry because you have entertained desires. Why? Painfully you have to go through the process of experiencing it. How nice it will be if it happens. He gives an example, no? You buy a business class ticket, you have to go through all the experiences. Why? Because you have already paid for it. Remember that example? When you buy a business class ticket, the airline will send a car to your house. You will be picked up, you will be taken into the airport, straight into the immigration. Economy class la water geta kuda they will not give, or they will say how much you are willing to pay. There you go and sit. Welcome drink is given, everything is given, and then in the plane when you land, your luggage will come out first, and you are taken out first, and then you are dropped at your destination. What a luxury you go through. But then you understand, you have to painfully go through all these because you have paid for it. That's where the karta, the doer, is extremely careful about what is the fruit that this action is going to produce. Later on he is going to say, very powerfully he is going to say, if you are not working for self-realization, your action has dosha, he says. All actions has doshas, minus the action for self-realization. But on the dosha, it's okay, sir. No, nothing can be done. Or you have to painfully experience. You follow? That's what he says. Unattached, wishing the welfare of the world. Not acting for the welfare of the world, wishing the welfare. A general welfare. If you carefully analyze, the general welfare has no meaning. Particular welfare has a meaning. You can wish for a particular welfare, but you can never wish for the general welfare. Because if you analyze it, you really don't know what you are wishing for? You can wish, you can pray for the welfare of the tiger, or you can pray and wish the welfare of the deer. You can't pray for the welfare of both the tiger and the deer. That's what he is saying. Wishing the welfare of the world means wish the welfare of the tiger and the deer at the same time. How does it work? You follow? A very prayerful, a gratitude towards not arrogating the fruit of action to oneself and distributing the fruit to everybody. That is what wishing the welfare is. Again I repeat, when I do an action, I can arrogate the result of the action to myself, the fruit. Another is, there is the fruit, and instead of arrogating it to myself, I say, let this benefit goes to everyone. This is wishing the welfare. That's the yajna ritual. That's the yajna ritual of saying na mama. They say, you pour the ahuti, and then you have to say, na mama. When you offer dakshina, you have to say, na mama. Clear? Even today the priest will say that, no? Na mama sollungo. You also have to say, na mama, and then only he will. What is it? This attitude of na mama is wishing the welfare. Whose welfare? The welfare of everybody. When you wish the welfare of everybody, you have to pray for the farmer and the salt merchant. You can pray either for it's easy to pray either for the farmer or for the salt merchant. But you can never pray for both. Never pray for both. No. How can you pray for both? Only field mattu. Let the rains come only on the field, and in his place there should not be. What is wishing the welfare of the world? Whatever benefits, whatever the fruit is, the attitude is, it is for all. You are not doing any favor to anyone by saying that. It's a simple recognition of the contributors to the action and distributing the fruit to the contributors. That is wishing the welfare. Again I repeat, it's not when you are wishing the welfare, you are not doing any favor to anybody. You are not doing anything great to anybody. All that you are doing is, since they all have contributed to your doing, the result also must be distributed. That's what wishing the welfare is. That's what is known as wishing the welfare. Opposite of that is an arrogation, that I am the doer. Not only I am the doer, no support from anyone, sir. I have to do all by myself. He has already said it. No action can be done by, in the intellectual appeal for action, he has already explained it. No action can be done by a single person. They say, don't cut the trees, no? You are not protecting the tree there. When you are cutting the tree, you are cutting your own oxygen supply. When you are cutting the tree, don't cut the tree. It's not that the tree is dependent on your protection. You are dependent on the tree. The tree is dependent on you. Able to follow? You are dependent on the tree for oxygen. The tree is dependent on you for carbon dioxide. Correct. So, in the phenomena of life, who is the giver and who is the taker? Who is the giver and who is the taker? I am the giver and others are takers. Sir, where is the problem? Very simple. I am the giver and you are the nobody tells me. I am just saying. We are the giver and the other is the taker. Whereas the truth of life is there is no giving, there is no taking. That's all. Where is the ego? Where is the arrogation? Act with this right understanding. That's what is meant by wishing the welfare of the world. We need to investigate carefully into certain aspects of life. And we don't do that. We don't do that. We don't investigate into what is meant as wishing the welfare. Ellarum nalla irukkum, sir. How is it possible? Next question, how is it possible? Is there a state? Is there a state like that? Then what are you actually wishing? There are factors in life which we don't investigate. Like, take a simple example, how we refuse to investigate, or how we have turned so blind to investigation. Simple example. We are all acting for growth, no? We are all acting for growth. We don't sit and investigate into the matter of what is growth. Father is living in a hut. The son moves into a 3-bedroom apartment. What is it? What is it called? The father is living in a hut. The son moves into a 3-bedroom apartment. What is it called? Growth, huh? Growth, of course. Not for the grandfather. Father in the hut. The son is living in the streets. What is it called? What is it called? Deterioration, negative growth. Negative growth, negative. Deterioration. Correct? Grandfather had a tuft. Son went for a haircut. What is it? Will you call it growth or deterioration? What is it? Son goes for a haircut. The grandson goes for? What is it? Spikes, multicolor hair, no? Brown, purple. அது ஒயிட் ஏதோ வந்துருக்கு, ஒழுங்கா இல்லாதனால ஒயிட் தான் வந்துடுச்சு. இதோ the age of 17, he started grey. So, my mother used to get very worried. Her worry is, இப்பயே நினச்சி போச்சுன்னா யார் கல்யாணம் பண்ணிக்குவாங்க? Her worry is, who will? I said it was somebody will. Some foolish person definitely will come. Where is the difficulty? We went arranged marriage. Ask her, no, she is sitting here. Ask her. Arranged marriage. Went. So on the day only she said, at least innikavadu you color something. Now I started coloring only after the marriage. I took a vow. Till I get married, I will not color. Went. Marriage got fixed. Engagement got over. One day we are going in the car. Her father was sitting in the front. We are talking something. She was sitting at the back. 2-3 times she was doing it to me. I asked her. I got so irritated. Third time I said, why are you doing that? No, dust mari irukudhu. Dust alla illa, full of white hair, I said. Full of white hair. You didn't tell me. I said, I came with the white hair. You didn't see. Now what can I do? They were contemplating whether to go ahead with the marriage or not. What is growth? Father had a tuft and the dhoti. Son said, haircut and the pant. What is it called? We don't know, no? You can't really... Just as so convincingly you said from the hut to the 3-bedroom is growth. Here some want to say growth, some are not so convinced, some are very clear. Adha, sir. See, materially we should grow, sir. But values and culture, what I decide. Not what my father decides. If I were to go and ask my grandfather, what is the cause for this deterioration? He will point out to my father. I will say, he is the cause. I go and ask my father, who do you think is the cause for deterioration? He will say, Ennadan. Correct. Our soltar. Me. And if you were to ask me, who is the cause for deterioration? The girl to pasanga da, sir. Are you able to follow? We really don't know what we call as, we have not investigated into a simple thing in life. Like we are aspiring for growth, and what is growth? One leg should go forward materially, another leg should go backward into the past. You follow? Definitely my grandmother will say deterioration only. Deterioration only. She were to look at the way that my daughter is dressing today, she will commit suicide. Not that she is walking around naked or anything. That is also. Would you call it as growth or would you call it as deterioration? We have double standards for everything. For everything in life, we have double standards. Similarly, investigate into what is wishing the welfare of the world. Investigate into what is wishing welfare of world. We really don't know. And it gives such a ego fulfillment to say, I am wishing the welfare of everybody. The very ego that wishes the welfare is the one that is causing. It is the ego that is causing the trouble, destruction. You follow? What is wishing the welfare of the world? A prayerful attitude of not wanting to arrogate the fruit to oneself, because contributors are the totality. Therefore, the fruit also must go to the totality. What is the fruit with which I am acting? Welfare. Now I act for the welfare of the world. Are you able to follow? Very fast I went. Again I repeat. I am always very slow sometimes. Sometimes by mistake I go fast. Otherwise I speak very, very. You act for welfare. You don't act for pain and suffering. You always act for the welfare. Instead of acting for your welfare, you act for the welfare of the attitude that drives the action is welfare. Whose welfare? Selfishness is one's own welfare. Unselfishness is welfare of a particular selective. All Indians welfare I wish wherever they are. But Pakistan is na. You can't wish. How can you? Even the ants and mosquitoes welfare is also okay, sir, but not Pakistanis. The highest is you understand that whatever fruit you get, you have no right to claim it as yours, for the support has come from the totality, and therefore you oblate it back. That's why he says wishing the welfare. What is wishing? Wishing is an attitude. What is not what you go out and do physically, not how you express it. It is in the right attitude. See, the moment you have the right attitude, action will follow automatically. You don't have to worry about, I have the right attitude to give, sir, but I am hoarding all the time. It doesn't happen like that. Attitude is there, it flows into action. If there is a hiccup in the action, if action is not flowing, means somewhere there is a problem in the understanding. That is why he goes on saying, go back to knowledge, go back to understanding, go back to knowledge, go back to understanding. What is it? Wishing the welfare of the world. Work for the welfare of the world. Asaktaha, unattached. Right from chapter 3, he is going on driving in unattached. Essence of Karma Yoga is in the detached action. In fact, that's what Karma Yoga is all about. Detached action. But again, detached action, you don't do it half-heartedly, you don't do it without. There is how you do if you are indispensable. You bring in that intensity into the doing. One part of you clearly understands that. One part of you clearly understands that you are not indispensable. You are dispensable. You are dispensable means try telling yourself or try telling someone, I have a task for you. There are 100 people who can do it. I am giving you an opportunity to do it. Will you take it now? The answer is, அவ்வளோ பேர் இருக்கிறாங்களா, அவங்கள்ட்டே கொடுத்துருங்க சார். Only you can do it. உங்களை தான் ஆர்கே சார், உங்களை நம்பி இல்லை, I'm just saying. அவரு அது வேற எங்க சார்னு, I will get a heart attack now. ஒரு எக்ஸாம்பிள். Only you can do it, and without you, what will happen? What an enthusiasm, what a sincerity, what a commitment will come immediately. The moment you are told that you are indispensable. Same lady, when she plays the role of the mother, her energy, versus when she is playing another role. Same lady. Are you able to follow? Same lady, when she is playing the role of the mother, what is the energy levels? From where does it come? Love, sir. Affection, sir. Adallam illa. The sense of indispensability. If I am not there, they will. If I am not there, they will suffer. Ask the mother. She believes they will die. That indispensability brings about energy. Same lady, another role. குழந்தைங்களுக்கு எல்லாம் பண்றாங்க சார். ஒரு கப் ஆஃப் காஃபி கேட்டா கூட கொடுக்க மாட்டேன்றாங்க. டூ டிஃபரண்ட். அதுதான் ஒரு ப்ராப்ளம். கரெக்ட்? வேர் இஸ் த எனர்ஜி கமிங் ஃப்ரம்? In the role of the mother, the indispensability is extraordinarily high, almost complete. Number 2, no dispute in the ownership. No dispute in that ownership. Even in the husband, there are others who has a ராஜாராம் கத்தி சொல்றா சார், கிளைம். அவருக்கு என்ன ப்ராப்ளம் தெரியல. இவ்வளவு நாள் அவ்வளவு கத்தி ஆன்சர் சொல்லி நான் கேட்டது இல்லை. Claim. There is a father sitting there saying my son. There is a mother sitting there saying my son. There is a brother sitting there saying my brother. Telling the wife, you came only now. We all know him. Ownership is so spread out, distributed. அவங்க இருக்கிறாங்கல்ல, ask them. Why are you asking me only? You follow? The ownership for energy to come into action, the indispensability, this is how ignorant get attached to action. What are the two things that makes them get attached to action? One is the indispensability. Second is the sense of ownership. The sense of ownership. You take away both. You remove the ownership. You remove the indispensability. Man starts experiencing hollowness in life. There is a emptiness. There is a hollowness. There is an emptiness. That is why we have to necessarily claim something as ownership. If nothing is there, now you have to claim some disease as mine, and you have to claim ownership over the disease. my disease, you have, and if anyone tells you that you don't have the disease, you look very cheerful today, na, they get very annoyed because their ownership lies in the disease now. Why? It is not in the disease, it is not in the other. The nature of ignorance is the sense of indispensability and the sense of ownership, and these two drives the action. You remove these two, you take away these two from a human being, there is no motivation for him to act. A wise one acts with the full understanding that he is dispensable. That is why every time he has to repeat na mama. Every time he has to go on repeating it. Na mama, na mama, na mama. Why? 1,000 times you repeat na mama. One time you forget, it gains a backdoor. It gains a backdoor entry. And all the effort of that 1,000 goes vain. You move 4 steps forward, you do something, you undo that, and come back. Again start, go 4 steps. You undo that. So you tell a person, don't have ownership, for nothing is yours, na? Immediately a fear will come. Immediately a sense of hollowness, like they say, no. Walking into an empty house. It's like walking into an empty house. You know the disease, no? Lonely in a crowd. Most feel that. Even in a house where there are full of people, they feel, I feel very lonely. But there are so many people, no. No one in that I can claim as mine wholly. That's why they get attached to objects which is a product of their action. Why? Because, are you able to follow? So for attachment to happen, 2 conditions. What are the 2 conditions? One is indispensability. Second thing is undisputed argument. Undisputed single owner. Clear title. Who should be? Only me. Only me, and nobody else can claim. Wise can act without these 2 also. That's what he said. An ignorant man can act only with these 2. The wise one acts. From outside, if you look at it, there is no difference in the way of acting. How the wise one acts and how an ignorant man acts, from outside, there is no difference at all. He is not saying no difference at all. There is going to be a difference. He is going to say all that. That's why this 25 to 35 in the commentary also he writes. This section is acclaimed as one of the most brilliant and valuable expositions on right human activity. The effortlessness into the action. All that is going to come. The effortlessness into the action. So from outside, for a lay person, it looks that even the man, in fact, the wise one will look more. The wise one will look more attached. So you feel like saying, you will attach. Looks like we are more detached than. What is the difference? There is the investigate into what is wishing the welfare means. Investigate into what causes attachment to action. What is it that causes attachment to action? 2 things. the என்ன சொன்ன indispensability அப்புறம் ownership. Yes, Rupa. Yes. 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 Wishing the welfare of the world is also a selfless action, because there is no wishing the welfare of any particular, there is no wishing the welfare of any particular. Unselfish is wishing the welfare of a particular, a larger group. Selfish means me. Unselfish means the larger circle of identification. That is why I said, if you investigate, if you think as to what is wishing the welfare of the world means, I gave the example of, I pray for the welfare of the tiger and the deer. It means, actually what am I saying? It means, what am I saying? I have nothing to do with both. Are you able to follow? When I say the tiger also has to be protected, the deer also has to be protected, both has to be protected. Now it is going and telling God, do the impossible. For the welfare of the deer lies in the pain of the tiger. The welfare of the tiger lies in the pain of the deer. See, the tiger is so hungry, it's chasing, the deer is escaped. The welfare of the deer is in the pain of. I remember long back, one day in the room he was saying, there was a snake and a cat was hitting that snake. For what? So, when we are going from the something in the well, he came to see. When we are going back, he said, wait, see that. A snake trying to escape from the cat, and the cat is hitting that. One thing is to say, save the snake from the cat. Why you want to save the snake from the cat? Because the snake is in pain. Okay, I take the snake out, but I am causing pain to the cat. How am I going to? So, what is wishing the welfare means? That's why I said, we really don't inquire, we really don't think deeper into when you actually think, let the cat also survive, let the snake also survive. We really don't know what we are. But one thing I can do is what? One thing I can do. What? One thing I can do. What? You can't say that. One thing I can do. What? I can be a Sakshi and say I have nothing to do with both. That point can never be, that point can never be taken. That state, that point is what is known as wishing the welfare of Chikirshu Loka Sangraham. Few verses back also he said, I act for the welfare of the world. Loka Sangraham evapi. Why he keeps on saying Loka Sangraha, Loka Sangraha, Loka Sangraha is because Arjuna used the same argument of Loka Sangraha to escape. He is saying this war is what is going to cause anarchy, all that. Now he is giving the same argument to prove only the Loka Sangraha is achieved by fighting Arjuna. Contradictory in terms. How can Loka Sangraha be achieved by fighting? Oh, good will prevail over bad. These are all still on an emotional plane. These are all still on when we are talking about an ideal action, that is to take a person to, that is to take a human being to liberation. The entire definitions, the entire meanings changes. So what is wishing the welfare? It's an attitude. What is an attitude? I don't directly wish anyone's welfare. I stop arrogating the fruit to myself. What do I do? Whatever fruit comes, this goes to, that's why it's called offering. This goes to everybody. It means only a selfless man can wish the welfare of the world. Yes. Only he can wish. Whatever he does becomes good. Whatever he does becomes right. Why? Because there is no arrogation over the doing, there is no arrogation over the result. You follow? The doctor prays. Every hospital has a temple. The doctor prays, help me. How to help? How to help? More patience. Patient also prays, help me. Means, but ideal doctor is one who will, we are talking about an ideal doctor, we are talking about ideal, and all these ideal people don't exist in the reality. They exist. If they exist, they are self-realized. They exist. It's not that they don't exist. You follow? Doctor says, so much of loan, so much of EMI, at least ICU or 20 நாளாவது occupied இருந்தாதான் next month I can manage. And the patient goes in and says, OPD order, if you send me out, who will God answer? Who can God answer? He can't say, I will take care of both. No, but doctor is wrong. No, sir. Who asked him to buy that equipment EMI? Who asked you to buy a house with? Who asked you to buy a house with EMI? You follow? That's why I said, if we have not investigated, we always have double standards in life for everything. That's why this knowledge is so essential, so important. All this discussion happens in the context of Karma Yoga taking a person to liberation, self-realization. If a person is not having that as a goal, all this doesn't apply. Rules are completely. If a person says realization appuram paakalam sir na erase pannidungo 7:45 length whatever we spoke from 7:45 you can erase it. You follow? See, just as take the simple definition of growth. Shastras define growth. What is growth according to Shastras? Two steps. Number 1, don't add any new desires. Number 2, get rid of existing desires. This is growth according to the Shastras. This is growth according to an enlightened man. In fact, they are the one who can define everything with clarity. Because there are no double standards. In the case of an ignorant man, he can never define anything with clarity because he always has double standards. When double standard means two rules. One rule for me and one rule for others. That's why I gave this example. My grandfather said, religious means, a human being means, you should have a tuft. Double standard. What is a double standard? I called him backward, outdated, and I went for a haircut. If my daughter were to come with the spikes, or if she were to come clean shaven, what will happen? Double standard. Are you able to follow? When I disobey my previous generation, that is acceptable. அவங்களுக்கு practical இருக்க தெரியல sir. I have to be. Now, if this generation does something which is totally against what? Then I call them what? Deterioration, disobedient, have no values for culture, tradition, this, that. But 20-30 years back you did the same thing. Adapati don't able to follow what is double standard. This is what is known as double standards. That is why an ignorant man is always confused. An ignorant man is bound to be confused. He cannot have clarity over anything because he has double standards. The wise one doesn't have this double standard. If I disobeyed my father, I have to be well prepared for what? My child will disobey me. Even doubt it is. I disobey my father because he is but my daughter should obey me in double standards. You follow? Everything in life we have double standards. What is wishing the welfare of the world? In the sense of enlightenment, there are no double standards. What is wishing the welfare means? Whatever. You follow? All this is applicable only in the context of in the context of the right human activity. What is right human activity means? What is the proof of right human activities? Only two results. No new desires, existing desires eliminate. That is Karma Yoga. Two legs to Karma Yoga. One is to make sure that no new desires are developed. Second is to eliminate existing one. And we do exactly the opposite. We go on adding new while strengthening the existing. Apro, where is wishing the welfare? Everyone has to work for my welfare. Everyone has to work for my welfare only. You follow? Wishing the welfare. சரியா? அடுத்த வாரத்துலேருந்து 7:30 தான் கரெக்டாக வந்துடுறேன். இன்னைக்கு மட்டும்தான் கொஞ்சம் லேட் ஆயிடுச்சு. அது கூட பத்ரியால் இல்லை, என்னால். he came on time. This is the color dhoti I always used to use. We never used that black.